Greetings and welcome, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to episode 368 of the Words About Games podcast. I got it right this week. The weekly video game podcast for Words About Games. I'm your host, Amy Kate Alexander, and I'm joined this week by the melting one himself, Mr. Daffin Moody. Hello.
Howdy diddly do, everyone. It's Friday. You know what that means. It's video game day.
It's video game day. Video games.
Yay.
Yay. How's it going?
I'm tired, Amy. I'm tired and I'm a bit exhausted. Not gonna lie. My brain's a bit mush. So you ain't gonna get much intelligence. As if you ever got really much intelligence from me before.
You can't set me up for the joke.
Even more. So I got in before you.
Yeah, you can't set me up for the joke and then fucking take the joke off of me. That's not fair.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I was gonna make that joke.
Yeah, but no, yeah, it's been a long week.
I mean, really, you can see the show notes. The bar for intelligence is set pretty low this week.
Yeah, I can see that.
You're gonna clear it.
I didn't think. I didn't. Clearly, nothing else more major has happened, as that's the main topic. Which is funny.
I treat the main topic as like, what's the thing that I want to talk about personally? Because obviously, the rest of the show is Moody's time to shine, right? So it's like it's Moody's time to shine. So you just pick the things, and I just do the things, and then we have a chat. So I'm always like, what do I want to do this week? And this week I was like, let's have a laugh at some
We can always do a laugh. We can always have a laugh.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like I've been texting Vitz, and he's like, "Oh man, it's been like over 30, like really hot." And then obviously I've seen you. It seems to be hot where you are, and I'm just like, it's been pretty cloudy all day today. It's actually been quite tolerable, for me. So I'm okay. Like I'm not really feeling the heat.
It's pretty bad. It's shit. The thing is that, us British people, we complain about the weather all the time. It snows, we're pissed off. It rains, we're pissed off. If it's fucking boiling hot, we're pissed off. It's never been a perfect weather. So even when it's dry, we're pissed off somehow. We always find a way.
I disagree.
But
For me personally, I love it when it's cold.
I love it when it's cold as well, because I prefer being cold than hot. It's just I feel manky and I feel terrible when it's boiling hot. Like after this, I'm gonna go in the shower. I'm gonna have a cold shower.
Nice. Is that what you know? Half time.
I'm gonna take all the ice and I'm pouring it on me, and then I'm gonna sit on it. I'm gonna shrivel up my testicles. So that's all good.
Like in Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, like in Red Dead Redemption. I was the focal point.
You were the horse.
I was the horse. Well, you're so small, Moody. Shut up. But anyway, yeah, it's hot. It's hot. It's not even in a good way. Like, oh, it's getting hot in here. So no.
Don't do that. No, we'll get demonetized.
No.
In fact, we're not monetized. We're not actually monetized. We won't get demonetized. We'll just get
kicked.
We'll just get deleted.
Yeah, we'll be deleted. Yeah,
YouTube will delete us.
And it doesn't take much for them to delete people, so it's like, yeah.
Sometimes it depends, I suppose.
That's true. How are you doing, Amy? I forgot to ask you last week, but I didn't this time because I put a sticker right here saying,
that's nice.
Say, how are you, Amy? And I put, good job, Moody, you remembered this
time.
Good
job, Moody, you remembered this time. I'll say it. Good job, Moody, you remembered this time. It's funny, though, because, like, I haven't done anything this week. So, like, I'm fine. Like, I've just been... I mean... I want to say I've just been relaxing, which is true. I've just been relaxing. But also, like, I've been writing most of the week.
Fantastic.
Which is, a thing. So it's not like I've been, like... I've been chilling, but also, like, not chilling. I don't know. It's weird.
So that's why we're not reviewing Volcano.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no. Yeah. No.
When you asked me, will you have it finished in time for this episode? And I was 50-50 time, then you said, yeah, I will.
I never said that. I said good enough for me, and then I started downloading it, and then I didn't touch it.
That for me was like We're going to review Goodbye Volcano High this week. Awesome.
Well, you
Clearly
know,
not. Clearly not. No, but no, yeah, it's really kind. I'm really happy to see that you've got your, fair to say, your mojo back a little bit when it comes to your writing. You were like in a wall, and you just couldn't punch through that wall because it was femshep, and like she's hard to punch through.
yeah, it was a wall of Krogan. I wasn't gonna try and punch it, you know.
Yeah.
No, you're probably right, but like, yeah, no, like I've picked up this idea that I'm running with, and it's all just fallen out of me. I did just have a bit of a breakdown just before there when I was writing, because I was writing just before we started, and I wrote the breakdown into the script because it was like, oh, I'm like, because this video is quite research heavy. Like, there's lots of citations and lots of reading and watching videos and stuff. And like, I did some research for a point I was going to make. It's in the outline, and I'm typing away, doing the thing, and I'm like, cool, this is good. Yeah, I'm making the point really well. I'm trying to make something quite difficult to follow as easy to follow as possible.
Yeah.
And then I read what I'd written, and I went, hang on a minute. There's a discrepancy in what I've written, and I'm like, have I made a mistake? And then I went back to the source that I got it from, and I went, no, I haven't made a mistake. I've used the source's information correctly. So then I've reread that, and then I've been like, all right, cool. And then basically what ended up happening was, as I was like writing this section of the video, I kept unearthing new information to add to it that just made it worse and worse and worse. To the point where I just got to the end and I was like, fuck this fucking industry.
I'm excited to see what it is when you release it and everything, and yeah.
I think part of what's helping me get my mojo back is, like I said, I drafted my friend in to sort of keep me on track. And I've drafted Vitz in to like give me like read-throughs of like what I'm writing.
I'm not jealous whatsoever. People just say
you don't like reading.
Feel like I'm just kicked.
Do you want to? It's 6,000 words so far, right?
I'm joking.
You get the videos.
You know me well enough that I do not like fucking reading. That's why you do it all the time on this podcast.
Yeah.
Apart from when I do
Apart
a
from
review,
when you
even then I
review.
fuck it up. So.
And I don't. It's fine. That's just how this podcast works. But yeah, no, you'll get the videos in chunks where it's like, here's the first part, here's the second part, and then you give me all the feedback, and then I ignore it.
I'm very much looking forward. I don't want to. Oh, you
no, I ignore it.
Yeah. Well, clearly he's fucking wrong here. So
well, he's wrong, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. Yeah, that only happened once, but it was really funny. I can't even remember which video it was. You gave me a bunch of notes on a video that was not short, and I just ignored every single note. Anyway,
I'm there to critique. I'm not there to be listened to.
No, I get helpful feedback, and it's good. I always take good feedback.
That's okay.
But
yeah, I like to say, I'm really happy to see that you got your mojo back and everything like that. And like you seem like you thrive. You got a bit of a buzz about you when you're doing it and everything, which is always great to see, because you're a lot. It's gonna sound wrong, and I'm not saying you are all the time, but you're a lot more relaxed. You seem like you're having a good time and everything like that with this, and it's always good to see this. You have fun with playing games and everything, but writing something is you really love as well. So you were hitting a wall for a while, and to see you've got through that wall and you're back on it is great to see. So
yeah, well, the frustration's gone, right? The whole like it's not hanging over my head anymore. Well, it is, because technically it's still there. Yeah. In my Google Docs, it's staring at me every time I open Google Docs, but. You know, the more stuff I put in Google Docs, the further down the list it'll go. That's how it works, right? You just push it down. And that's the healthy thing to do.
It sounds like depression.
Maybe. No, I'm having fun. I'm having fun doing this. It's like fun research, and it's fun reading and watching stuff, and then distilling that into words about games.
What? That's what you mean?
That's what we do.
What the hell?
Holy shit.
Holy shit.
But yeah.
Should we laugh at people though?
Yeah, we can always laugh at people. I moved Vault Boy. He's now in front of the timer. Hold on. Like he's in front of the thing that tells me how long we've been recording for. I just looked across and Fault Boy's just smiling at me. Cool. I'm like, yes, that is very apt for this week's podcast, but I need to see the numbers behind your head. So
Lower Decks is out.
it is. I haven't seen
Have
it
you
yet.
seen it? No, never mind it.
I'm on a Stargate binge at the moment.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that which is great to see. Stargate is really, really good.
It is. It surprisingly holds up quite well. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some terrible, awful episodes.
The same as Star Trek, so it's okay.
Yeah. There's this weird
it's like
one.
A 90s, early 2000s.
This was like a late 90s thing. So I was watching season 1 and I skipped the episode, which is like, do you remember Star Trek Next Generation had that super racist episode, Code of Honor?
I'll say you brought it up, and I was never a next gen guy.
It was the planet,
so...
and they needed the they were getting the vaccine off of them.
I'm just gonna say,
and they were all of the people on the planet.
The episode, I wouldn't be able to tell you about it.
So like
you're telling me about it.
So like they did it again in Stargate, like beat for beat. Like they in the second episode after the pilot, they go to a planet and it's all Asian people, and the plot is literally Code of Honor again, and it's written by the same person. Yeah.
You went, I was like, this for Stargate.
What the fuck? So I skipped that one. And I tried to watch the other season 1 episode where the Hathor turns up and she like seduces all the men on the base, and then I was like, it's too much. I couldn't. I was like, no, I'm good. I think I managed like 5-10 minutes, and I was like, I'm just gonna skip this. This is pretty cringe.
She's only in like 3 episodes.
She is, yeah. Well, I'm like on season 3. She's already dead now. Like, it's spoilers, I guess.
So she's already dead. So
yeah, Jack threw her into the thing and killed her. Very attractive lady.
Yes, indeed. There's no doubt. I agree with you there. Like,
the ghouls and the Tok'ras are all very nice to look at.
We always look at them respectfully.
Yeah, no, looking respectfully, of course. But like, I always used to like the Tok'ra and the ghoul like characters and stuff, and I was like, it's because it's a cool concept for starters. Yeah. Like the whole concept of Stargate is just really good, but also because they're all hot. And I thought that was most of the driving force of why I was always like obsessed with them. And then I was watching an episode of Stargate, and one of the characters was explaining to Captain Carter about like ghouls, and he's like, oh yeah, well, ghouls don't have a gender, but like they do have a do have a preference on the host that they take. And I was like, huh. Maybe there's some subconscious shit going on here that I didn't know about when I was watching this in the 90s.
So are you saying you're a Gould?
No, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
No, maybe.
No, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. What god are you? What god name are you going to take?
When I was doing when we were doing the Stargate RPG that I've mentioned, me, Keith, and a couple other people did. The tabletop RPG, I did have a Tok'ra for a little while in the game. So, you know, shit happens.
Excuse me.
But no, it's very good. It holds up surprisingly well. There's a lot of really great episodes. Chris Judge immediately just starts knocking it out of the park in episode 1 and never stops.
Chris Judge is like pretty badass, there's no doubt about it.
But they're all really good. And I have realized, the post that I put on Blue Sky, I've realized that watching Stargate when I was younger definitely is responsible for a lot of my sense of humor.
Always fair. I was very slow on Daniel Jackson. I was just like, sometimes, Daniel, it's okay just to shoot things, okay? Stop being a pain in the ass to be the moral compass. Fuck off.
Someone has to be the moral
compass. He deserved to die sometimes.
Someone has to
when
be
he
the moral
died,
compass.
I was like, thank fucking God.
No, I like
then
him.
he brought him back a year later, and I was like, for fuck's sake.
I like Daniel Jackson. Like if I was thinking of like favorite characters of SG1, he would like be the bottom, but not because
he was the fourth one for me. Yeah,
he was the fourth one.
Yeah.
Well, I guess technically he would be the 7th one.
He got pushed down even further when the others turned up.
When everybody else started turning up, yeah.
Oh, bless them. Bless them.
Look, Claudia Black was fucking amazing in Stargate.
But I like their dynamic, so like it worked for me. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when. So it's like, but no, yeah, I didn't click with Mitchell when he turned up. He was just a rip off O'Neill.
A bit, definitely had a different vibe to him. I think I gave him the benefit of the doubt long enough to get to know him as a character, just because like Farscape had just ended, and then it was like, oh, now he's in Stargate.
I was just thinking when I saw it, I was thinking, well, this show's clearly has only got not long left. Farscape got cancelled, so and he was part of that show, so this means Stargate's going to be cancelled soon. What happened 2 years later? Got cancelled. Thanks, Mitchell.
I like season 9 and 10. People bang on those, but like they're really fucking good.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. It just felt like it was just going. There was some banging episodes. There's no doubt about it. I completely agree with you. I think the finale of season 9 is like one of the best finales.
I remember watching that
for a long time.
Oh god, I remember watching that with Russ, like when it first came out, and like you just like it's all right, I guess, you know. Mitchell fights the Black Knight guy, and like they have fun in that village and stuff, and then like the last 5 minutes are just like, holy shit.
Everyone's dying. Oh no!
You just spend the budget of the entire season on this like last 5 minutes. Like, what the fuck?
Pretty much. Yeah, really, they really did. But and I didn't like the ending, the finale of season 10. That bored me. It was just like
I enjoyed it. Like as a series finale, obviously, like it's not great as like the last ever episode or something.
Yeah.
But like they got cancelled.
2 films coming.
We knew there was films coming to wrap up the plot line, and they got cancelled like super late to the point where it's like we can't fucking change anything. Like
because they were already planning for actually the 11th season. That's the thing about it.
If there'd been a season 11, like you probably would have enjoyed that episode a bit more because it was like cool. Like I'm gonna get another 20 episodes of Stargate. Just a character episode. It's just a weird place for a character episode.
You think it'll ever come back? Like Star
I think
Trek's
so,
come back in so many ways, different and unique ways. Love them or hate them either way.
Well,
but Stargate, also, I've always heard like online, it's coming back type of thing, but it never has. Like Atlantis was meant to be getting a film, but it never got a film, and they're never getting bloody thingy back for that. He's like, how much do you want me? I want your entire budget just for my wage.
It's like, Ronan went back to his home planet.
Yeah, and I loved Atlantis, but that finale was a pain in the ass as well. Why kill him and then bring him back 10 seconds later? I was like, what the fuck, man?
Know. That finale again, like
because them we're going to do a film. We've got greenlit for a film, so we'll bring you back. It's like, then why kill him?
I know he was having neck problems with because the wig that he was wearing was really heavy. I don't know if that was like contributing. Maybe he wanted to leave, but then they got cancelled. So it was like, well, we're going to kill you off, but now we don't want to because, well, it's the end. So they just changed it really quickly. But again, it got cancelled super late. So it's like, well, we can't change a damn thing about this, you know.
It just sucked.
Stargate seems cursed though. Like from what I've heard and what I've read online and stuff, it's like there was a reboot. They were going to do a thing. I don't know if it was a reboot. Sorry, that was probably the wrong word. They were going to bring it back in 2019, like when they started bringing it back, and then COVID happened. So then it got shelved. And then it's like they were going to reveal like they were going to do like a teaser trailer, like not for any specific Stargate thing, just for the fact that Stargate was coming back at Comic-Con in the summer. But then the writer strikes happened. So it's like they put the plans for that. And it's just like, man, Stargate has terrible timing. So I think, eventually it's going to come back.
I hope so. I would love to see more about it and everything like that. It was just, it was some good fun. Like I was so disappointed to see Universe then, because I think the second season it really got going for me.
Universe was fucking, and I'm sorry people that like it, you can like what you like, but like the first season of Universe was awful.
I agree. I think the first 3 episodes I really enjoyed because I thought it was very
a strong premise, like good setup.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
It just kept going. It kept repeating same things of what the other shows have done, which Atlantis did a couple of times, which annoyed me as well.
I mean, they did, 17 seasons of consecutive television, didn't they? So it's like, repeat yourself a little bit. But it was trying to be dark and edgy, but it went too...
Trying to be Battlestar
Galactica. It shot past and it was like, this is dumb. The episode where the leader guy kills that guy who's trapped under the thing to put him out of his misery or whatever, and then it's just like, man, I only remember that because in every single previously on for the rest of the series, it was in it. There was that line he says, where he's like, I killed him with my bare hands, and it was just like, it was in every fucking previously on for the next 18 episodes or something.
It's because obviously they were trying to be Battlestar.
Yeah, and it's just like, be Stargate.
Be Stargate. You can still have heavy things on about it, but be Stargate.
Be Deep Space Nine. Don't be Battlestar Galactica. Yeah. Stargate didn't need Battlestar Galactica. Just be a bit more, bit darker.
Yeah. I loved Robert Carlyle in it. I thought he was brilliant.
Robert Carlyle was just a good actor.
Yeah, he was so good. I also like the guy who played, I think I want to say his name right, Ichep?
The guy from Star Trek.
Who's still awake at the end.
Eli,
I was close.
Yeah, he was cool.
Yeah, I liked him because you saw growth with him from the start and all the way to the end. There was a massive growth with him. There was some others. There was some idiot characters in there. It was just like, oh my god, we get it. You had an affair. We get over it, okay? Yeah. Because you're obviously away in a distant galaxy. That means you must stay together. You must become together now and everything. Go away with all this shit.
Yeah. No. Universe got better as season 2 went on, to the point where I was a little bit disappointed. I was like, oh man, if they keep this up, season 3 is going to be pretty good. And then obviously it wasn't. But no, yeah, I agree with everything that you're saying. Stargate Universe was just weird, man. But character growth, is something that they did really well in Stargate. Character arcs and stuff. I feel like most other TV shows of the time, because you know how McKay was in SG-1 and he was a dick, and then they were like, oh, we'll put him in Atlantis and stuff. They would have rewrote his character to not be a dick. Instead, that's a journey he goes on through the series of Atlantis, and it's that's how you write characters.
Yeah.
Don't just rewrite their personality flaws. Fix them in the fiction of the universe.
Yeah.
I miss Stargate.
I do as well sometimes.
But we're not going to talk about Stargate.
No, we're not.
We are going to talk about space, though.
Space?
Yeah, for a little
bit.
The
final frontier. So we're going to Star Trek again, okay.
Yeah.
That Lower Decks 2 episode.
I haven't seen them yet.
This happens and this happens.
No, I know about the thing that's in the first episode about the ship. But that's all I know.
We find a giant ring and then the Daedalus comes through. What?
That would be amazing.
Colonel Caldwell and Picard are shouting at each other.
They would totally argue. They would totally have an argument.
Fucking argue. Caldwell will be a dick and Picard will just be Picard.
I'd love to see Jack O'Neill in Star Trek. He'd lose his fucking mind.
He tried to get the Prometheus named Enterprise.
There was that one. I just watched an episode of Stargate, which basically now that my brain is fully grown, because obviously I didn't watch it. I watched it when I was quite young, the first time. And, you watch it, and it's a really, really fucking good episode. But it is basically just a fuck you to the Prime Directive in Star Trek. It totally comes off as they're just this Prime Directive thing is bollocks. And it's awesome. Anyway, the internet is having totally normal reactions to Starfield.
I knew they would. I'm so proud of them.
You did exactly what we expected you to. It's only 2 bullet points and then a little thing I wrote down for the ending. I didn't write it down, I copied it. But which one of the 2 bullet points do you want to start with? I'll let you pick.
Flip a coin.
Flip a coin. Should we talk about me opening Twitter to get a screenshot for this video that I'm making? And like, so I opened Twitter and I'm like, cool, I need a screenshot of a tweet. So I opened Twitter, I got the screenshot of the tweet, and then obviously like the trending is on the right hand side. And I looked and I was like, why is pronouns trending with 85,000 tweets? Like I haven't been on Twitter. I hadn't been on Twitter at that point for like a week. And I was like, what the fuck? Because like I see it trended all the time when I was on Twitter, but like a few thousand tweets here or there. I was like, it's got 85,000 tweets. What the fuck's happening? So I opened it and I was immediately greeted by a bald man screaming and crying for 2.5 minutes, and it was the funniest thing I'd seen all week. Did you see the video?
Yes, I've seen his video.
Holy shit. It's performance art.
He deserves an Oscar.
I think he deserves an Oscar, yeah. He's definitely not that mad. Like, for anyone that doesn't know what we're talking about, it's this Twitch streamer guy. I don't know who it is. And, like,
he's a baby. We'll call him this. The baby.
He starts up Starfield, and then he has to make his character. And as part of the character creation process, you have to select your pronouns. And, like, if to say that this guy just fucking loses it would be an understatement to what actually happens.
He, like, wow, he has a full-on temper tantrum over the most stupidest thing. Yeah. Over pronouns. Like, what?
What did he call us? Current, like, people, we're all current days, whatever the fuck. I don't know what that means.
I don't know. I didn't pay much attention to it. Like, I was just thinking, oh my god.
Oh, I've watched it like 5 times.
The white dude is crying over pronouns in a video game. It's clearly the end of the fucking world, and obviously the internet had a complete normal reaction.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
and whatnot.
Yeah, I guess my Twitter algorithm is still pretty decent because, like, the video wasn't a clip that he posted; it was a clip that somebody else posted of it, which is why I was sharing it. And so
he wasn't gonna clip and put that at all.
If it was his video, I wouldn't have shared it because it was like, fuck you for getting. I'm not giving you views, but it was somebody else that shared it, and it was just like, holy moly, yeah. It's so like he's so mad about it, like. He starts like screaming at the camera and stuff. I actually turned the volume down. I was worried my neighbors were going to hear it. And then what they think of that. But like, yeah. We're just saying these things into everything. Like,
yeah.
Dude, click the button, man. Just click the button, and then you never have to think about it again. It takes like
that's the thing about it. Yeah, it's really just it's bonkers, man. It really is. It's just out of all the things like you want to talk about, or not you, I mean, just people want to whine about. It's like you've got a game that you've all been excited for. Just play the fucking game. What is more important, pronouns or a good video game? The pronouns do not damage the video game at all. If it did, I still wouldn't give a fuck, okay? I won't lie. I'll still be saying, stop whining little bitches and just literally just pick your pronouns and just fucking get on with the game, you whiny little bitches.
Yeah, right.
But no, it's like, it doesn't break the game.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything to the game whatsoever. Like, no. Oh my god.
Someone counted and he used like 26 pronouns in the rant that he went on, because I don't think these people understand what a pronoun is.
People don't understand the pronoun. People don't understand wokeness. They don't understand nout.
All pronouns are just them.
Fucking idiots.
They're the only pronouns you get.
Yeah, they're just the morons. The whole lot of them. And then you saw the freaking stupidness with Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah, what was that all about? I didn't see any of this.
So basically, he's complained because the Bethesda didn't want to work with him.
Ah, you sure? And most people don't want to work with him.
He's done a video like that, and he's whining, so they didn't want to work with me. And he's had it on like the title part, and he says, "Now I clearly know why," type of thing.
Because
it's not because of that. It's literally because you're an absolute dickhead, and why would anybody want to work with you?
Ooh.
You may have millions of people watching you, you fucking idiot. But why would a company who is, no offense, bigger than you want to work with you? They rather just you pay for the fucking game, and and then just let you whine about it if you play it. You know, it's like Jesus. He's a person who thinks, because I am one of the biggest Twitch streamers or YouTube streamers out there because Twitch got rid of me.
Twitch sacked him.
Sacked him. Yeah. I deserve to be worked with.
I hate that attitude. I've met people.
He's an asshole.
I've met people who have that like, well, I've got such amount of subs, therefore I deserve to be given free games to review.
Basically,
or whatever.
That's what he is. He's entitled. He thinks he's entitled, and it's just the same as always when it comes to these people.
Yeah. So he thinks so. Well, he doesn't think it. Obviously, he obviously knows why they don't want to work with him. But like, did he actually say like, oh, pronouns? Well, now I know why they don't want to work with me.
Pronouns or anything like that, but I think it's more just because of like they just didn't want to work with him.
Because like,
and it's just like,
like it's like Mr. Beam, because Guy Beam's his actual name. Like it's probably got something to do with that one time you filmed a teenager in a bathroom in public. Might have something to do with it.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't know anything about the doc.
I read multiple times that you've been racist, sir.
Oh God,
Who fucking knows? Yeah, who knows? It might be that. It might be a lot of things. It might be. I doubt it. It might have been because you had an affair with your wife, against your wife.
Hey, oh yeah,
it'd be very low. It'd be low hanging fruit if they chose that, but it might have been. It's pathetic. It's like just go out and play the game. If you enjoy it, that is fantastic. I'll always champion that. If you don't enjoy the game, fine, good for that. I'm sorry you didn't enjoy the game. But if you're complaining that the game has pronouns, if you're complaining the game is probably woke or anything like that, literally hop yourself into a bin and throw yourself into the sea, okay? And just float away off our islands and our continents and whatnot. Just stay in the sea and whatnot.
International
stay in
waters.
your little bubble with all your idiots, and just stay there.
Oh man, that'd be great.
We'll call you Pathetic Island.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, I'm sure I'm sure Guy played the game. Anyway, because that angry bald man might have had a complete and total psychological break, when he saw pronouns at the beginning of the game, but he still has multi-hour streams of the game up, so I clearly didn't bother him that much.
Yeah, clearly not. That's the thing about it. And he'll say, "Oh, it's my job to play this video game." No, it's not your fucking job. It's not.
You can play anything
you want. It is not your fucking job. You can literally play whatever the fuck you want. And if you want to play something different because this game has pronouns and it pissed you off so fucking much, play something different.
Play something that doesn't have pronouns. Oh wait, the English language is littered with pronouns. That's literally impossible.
Like, this is how crazy this is how crazy just this whole thing with Starfield has been. Have you seen the thing about oh god, I need to get a name. Sorry.
That's okay. I can cover, because I wanted to I just wanted to bring up another point, which was like the reason we don't take these, what these people are saying, and like make a rebuttal against it. Like, hey, Mr. Angry Bald Man, this is why the game has pronouns, because these people aren't worth bringing up to our level to debate them. It's easier and better in the long run to just mock them.
There's no doubt about it. Alana Pierce, someone's tried to get her fired from her job because she's played and done streams of Starfield.
Oh, I saw she did that. Yeah, she tried flying to see if you could fly to a planet and land on it, and she went straight through it.
Yeah, apparently she didn't find out about it until like literally someone's made her aware, because she's very specific on this Twitter. Like, she blocks a lot of things or mutes a lot of words that she just doesn't want to be bothered with or anything like that, which is completely understandable.
That's what I did. I've still got Cyberpunk muted.
yeah, understandable. Like what is it? She says in her video that she didn't find out when someone's tried this before, and Phil Spencer's contacted her apologizing to her. She said, "I don't know what the fuck you're talking about."
Sorry, Phil. What? Do you mind? I'm trying to play Starfield.
Yeah, how crazy is that?
No, I didn't know that.
That's how stupid the internet is, man. And then people are whining over IGN giving the score 7 out of 10.
So yeah, it was IGN and GameSpot gave it a 7, and PC Gamer gave it a 75 out of 100, 7.5. And like Like, yeah, sure, you know, there were the usual losers who... There's probably some overlap, right, between the two things that we just talked about. He was having a total fucking nightmare on Twitter and whatnot. They don't do it on Blue Sky. It's probably because they get laughed at on Blue Sky. But like, and that was fine, you know, that was whatever, expected, right? Like, we were all talking about it in the run-up to the review embargo dropping. We were all talking about, oh, great, look, this is going to cause some issues, you know what I mean? We knew what was going to happen. Somebody wasn't going to like it. As much as, like, everybody else did, and people were going to cause an issue. What took me a little bit off guard, and in retrospect, it probably shouldn't have, was, like, when serious game journalists and like game reviewers started like debating the fucking score. Like the tweet I showed you from that one guy, I can't remember who it was. He was a reviewer for one of the other websites that said something along the lines of, no, there's no way Starfield's a 7. I could see it being an 8, but to give it a 7, you would have to be really cynical. I was like, mate, you just didn't enjoy the fucking game that much. Like,
I haven't played, so I can't comment on it like that. But like, seriously, it's one person's opinion. If you think it's an 8 out of 10, that's fantastic. Great, you're having a great experience with it. You know, that's like
trying to make.
This is why, you know, I'll ask you this question right here and now. Like, I think should we get rid of our scores because I just can't be bothered with it?
Yeah, fine.
You just literally say we enjoyed this game. And we'll like on our private little thing, we'll like order it however we want.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I used to do that anyway.
I'll still put a score on for myself, but I'm not going to say a score anymore. I'm sick of it. Yeah. It's fucking a pain in the ass. Like, and then we're nothing. We're nobody compared to these guys and everything like that. But fucking hell, if someone fucking started gunning on me just because I give someone a 3 out of 5 or something, which is basically a 7 out of 10 overall, I'll be like, fuck off. Like, seriously, I would literally just say fuck off.
Oh yeah, I
can't be bothered with you. If you enjoy the game, fantastic. I'm so happy for you. If you dislike the game more than I did, I'm so sorry for you and everything. But fuck off.
When I did reviews for my Xbox and me, obviously they had scores, so I had a couple where it was like because of the scores that I gave particular games. Because you know me, Moody, I don't have particularly typical tastes in video games. So like, you know, it happens. Like, but it was the part where it was like serious reviewers are trying to like say like there's some kind of like scientific barrier that Starfield cannot possibly drop below, and if somebody review scores it lower than that, then they're being cynical. The implication was that the person who reviewed Starfield and gave it a 7 out of 10 was being disingenuous. He didn't say disingenuous. He said cynical. But it's like, no, he's just giving his honest fucking opinion about a game. Like, I would not be shocked if the person who wrote that review wanted to give it a lower score, but knew that the lower the score went, like, this is the reason why all fucking AAA games have, like, 80s and 90s on fucking Metacritic. It's because reactions like this cause people to fucking not want to fucking give low review scores. The thing is,
it's more... Like, it's more the thing of, like, IGN's, like, the heads probably, like, saying, no, you can't go that low. At least give it a 7 or something like that, maybe. That's plausible.
It's plausible. It's as plausible as my theory, yeah.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But either way, like... People complaining over a score, complaining about like, just play the game. How about just play the game? If you're excited about this game, just play the game. Forget about what everyone else's opinions about it. Forget about IGN's, the person whoever reviewed this score is. Forget about like you must hate the person who you must hate one of the people from Kind of Funny. He only give it a 3 out of 5. That's a 7 out of 10. And everything. It's the same fucking thing. It's like, go fuck yourselves, guys. It's like, that person had the legitimate reasons why he had that score, and it's people. Oh. To what I could tell from reading them and everything. And I'm just like, oh, guys, enough already, man. Enough. And we know what's going to happen. The thing is, it's the same thing going to happen for the next big video game and whatnot.
Sure. Yeah. Like, it's just like we're in this like we're having this unprecedented run, right, of like truly remarkable video games, And it's just like, why can't you just enjoy the ones that you want to enjoy and like leave the ones that you want to leave? And like, I don't understand it, man. Like, when we did review scores, I didn't like Final Fantasy 16 particularly all that much, and I think I rated it a 3.
Yeah, I think you give it a 3
I gave
because
it
the
3
combat
stars.
helped you, especially the kaiju battles.
Yeah, the big kaiju, big Godzilla battles were really good. But like critical consensus says that, you know, on OpenCritic or Metacritic or whatever, it's like 188 or 90 or something. It's in around that sort of realm, and it's like, so am I wrong? No, I'm not wrong. Is the critical consensus wrong? No, the critical consensus isn't wrong either. Like, we take critical consensus way too seriously. As like a community. It's like I saw someone post on Blue Sky something along the lines of the best thing that could happen to the games industry would be if Metacritic folded. And like
Metacritic, OpenCritic, the whole shebang, yeah.
I couldn't help but sort of nod and go, yeah, that probably would actually be really good for the games industry if like review aggregation just died.
Same goes for like for in films, like Rotten Tomatoes. Get rid of it. Get rid of the fucker. Just enough of these scores and everything like that. Enough of it. Just it's simple just to say, I really enjoyed this fucking video game.
Yeah, here is why.
For me, this is why I like it. You should go and play it. This is why I thought it was just okay. So I'm not too sure if to recommend it, but if you were already excited for it, go for it.
Yeah.
If this is the reasons why I don't like it.
Yeah. Like
Simple.
when I
And that's what I'm
recommended,
going to do from now after. I'm like, you're not getting a score from me or anything. I'm going to see if it's good or it's going to be bad.
like when I recommended Star Trek Resurgence to people if they liked Star Trek, but not necessarily if they weren't Star Trek fans, because I think that you get two different experiences there. It's like I gave it 2 different scores. I'm pretty sure, because of that. Like, it's just so dumb. Like, like we could be talking. And at this point, I'm kind of talking about journalists, game reviewers, and enthusiasts like ourselves. It's like we could be choosing to talk about anything, and this is what we've chosen to talk about: Starfield review scores and fucking pronouns. It's like
you chose that.
You know what I mean? Like, we as a collective thing. It's like these are the conversations that have been happening all bastard week, and it's like we could choose to talk about whatever the fuck we want. And this is what we went with. Like, Jesus Christ. You know we only have a limited time on this earth, right?
Yeah, it's boiling as we speak.
Why? Like, why can't we just talk about the things that we enjoy? Like, it's so dumb. And I hate it here. But this is where we live. So. Oh, man. Starfield. We knew this is going to happen in like a month when fucking Spider-Man comes out, right?
Probably, but I would also be very surprised I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it's Spider-Man. I think Spider-Man is a people, I think, it's going to sound wrong when I say this, a little bit more forgiving a little bit because it's Spider-Man. Spider-Man's a hero that has been highly praised and everything and loved throughout the years and everything. And like with like the last 2 films that have come out that are Spider-Man specific films, overall it's been very much universally loved. So
Gwen Stacy will show up in with a fucking trans flag, and someone will give it a 7 out of 10, and we'll be doing this all over again. Oh, and there won't be enough puddles. So
gotta have those puddles.
Gotta have all those puddles.
All those puddles.
What the fuck, man? Like, yeah, I just now reminded myself about that time everybody complained about the number of puddles in the fucking game, and it's like, what the fuck are we doing, man? What the fuck are we doing here? I think I'm having an existential crisis.
It's like come on, like the conversation is about these 2 stupid things, but they completely ignored about the transphobia that happened
right? Yeah, it's just like, hey, we could have had an important discussion about something that happened allegedly. I shouldn't have used air quotes there. Sorry. Something that happened allegedly at ZeniMax Online Studios, owned by Bethesda, or the other way around.
Owned by Microsoft.
or now owned by Microsoft, and it's like instead like 7 out of 10. The sky is falling.
It has pronouns.
Uh-oh. So does everything. So does everything in the English language. I, we, us, you. Those are all pronouns, baby. I don't know what you want.
Like I said, it's like they don't understand at all.
No, they do. This is the thing. I guess there is like a kernel of like an important thing that we should say, which is like they do know what they're doing. Like this is the grift. Like the big angry bald man who screamed and yelled and almost cried about pronouns about Starfield is sure he knows we're all gonna think he's a fucking idiot, but he's getting the word out to the people who agree with him. To come, hey, I'm a channel that you can come and we, I support you in the war against woke or whatever, because they're not really angry about pronouns in Starfield. They're just angry that trans people exist. That's what they're really angry about. But they can get away with it if they say it's about pronouns. They won't get banned from whatever platform if they just say they're mad about pronouns and the woke agenda and current days, whatever that is. That was a new one on me.
Yeah, that one makes no sense to me.
No, most of the things that they say make no sense, but that one was a new one. I hadn't heard that one before. Isn't he a current day? Aren't we all current days? We live here, right? Like, how does time work?
Yeah. What the fuck's going on here?
Time is still linear, right?
I believe so. I don't know.
Just to wrap it round, I did watch that Stargate episode where they're getting sucked into a black hole, so time moves differently the further away you get. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe it's when they switched on the Large Hadron Collider all those years ago. They really did open a black hole.
Maybe when. Nope, not going to say that one.
No,
nope.
Nope.
Nope. I went, nope, don't say that. Don't say that. That's bad. I'll say that off stream. And then you'll go, yep, I'm glad you didn't say that. We probably would have been banned.
Hey, why?
I don't know.
I can't wait until we get to do this again. Would you like my something to end on?
Yeah, go for it. I like this.
This is from Vicky Blake over at Eurogamer, who wrote, a Starfield player has credited the sci-fi game with saving their life after they stayed up late to play it and were awake when their apartment complex caught fire. User Tidy Sea Killer took to Starfield subreddit over the weekend to report their amazing escape, saying that if they hadn't been awake, quote, binging, end quote, the game when the fire broke out, the player and their wife would have likely died to smoke inhalation. Quote, Starfield literally saved mine and my family's life on 1st of September. I've waited for this game since the trademark rumours of 2015 and 2016. In anticipation, I pre-ordered the premium edition, waiting to play this game. On the night of 31st of August, I decided to stay up and play as long as possible to experience this new universe. At 2:26 in the morning, while playing the game, I heard an explosion from my downstairs neighbour's apartment. I paused my game to see what was happening. When I opened the door, I saw flames rising up our stairwell to our apartment. If I hadn't been up binging Starfield, I would have been asleep, and we would have all died due to smoke inhalation. I want to thank this game for saving my life and me from a horrible fate. Saving my family and me from a horrible fate. Praise good Howard, end quote. And then one commenter replied, quote, you now have permission for the rest of your life to stay up late gaming, end quote.
Yeah, it's like, this is what games does for you, and like, there's no doubt about it. It's like it's insane to think like this type of thing and everything. But games have saved people's lives and everything. Like, games have changed people's lives in a positive and whatnot. And like for myself, like I shout out Life is Strange 3 all the time, Mass Effect all the fucking time.
Your career.
With my career, yeah, as well. But no, but I think. For like the year I had in 2021, like those games, like they really helped me so much and whatnot. And it's just like, and you see this is an amazing thing. It is really, is amazing. It's amazing that this happened and everything. He's
Yeah.
incredibly lucky. There's no doubt
Yeah,
about it.
definitely.
His excitement just said, "I'm playing this. I don't give a fuck. I'm playing this right now at midnight." Type
Bang!
Of thing.
Oh,
That's
I'm sure
great.
it was nothing.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But no, yeah, it's amazing to hear these type of things, and like it just goes to the thing of like to the things that we were talking about before, and to the people who whined and bitched and moaned about this fucking whole thing. Just go fuck yourselves.
Like,
seriously, just go fuck yourselves. It's pathetic what you're talking about.
and
This
is cool.
thing here is amazing.
Like, I follow someone on Blue Sky who's bought like 3 copies, like all the different editions of Starfield, because they've just been like fucking waiting for it for that long. Like,
It waits in 2015.
it's gotten
so yeah,
no,
they wait a
like
long
to
time.
the point. I'm not going to name this person because obviously that's not fair. But like talking about it to the point where it's like it's gotten them through knowing this game was coming out now, like getting them through like depressive episodes and stuff, and it's just like that's the kind of shit we should be talking about, not the fucking bollocks about 7 out of 10s and pronouns. It's like shit like that. How games positively impact people instead of how games negatively impact people. Like, leave the negatively impact, like talking about negative impacts, to people like us who are doing it on a podcast where we talk through issues. Like, and then let's also talk about cool shit, like, you know, fucking Starfield saving a guy's life. I don't know. That probably didn't make too much sense. In fairness, I'm also pretty tired. But, like, I don't know. Maybe we just need to approach things more positively and just talk about the wonder and awe of video games, you know? Instead of arguing with each other about review scores and whatever discourse is going to be next. I think difficulty is going to make a comeback next.
Sorry?
Well, we seem to cycle through the same like 5 or 6 pieces of discourse. So I'm just trying to figure out which one's next. I'm going to go with difficulty in video games as the next discourse that we have.
It was only last year. I don't want that kind
Yeah, we have that every fucking year.
But there hasn't been a Souls-like out this year, so...
Oh, there is one on October, though.
Life of P's coming out soon.
There's like 2 in October.
Oh, shit, man. Hear me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm taking those episodes off. If I see on the list, I'm literally going to message you. I'm not coming in.
What I'm saying is, like, there is bad shit in the industry and happens in the industry, and we should take that 100% seriously. But shit like this and like discourse stuff, you might have noticed, Moody, and also anyone who watches or listens to this podcast on a regular basis, that more and more often we just take the piss out of it now. And I feel like that's definitely the vibe we should go with going forward, because I've had a lot, like, as we've talked about a lot of dumb stuff, like, you know, all the stuff the woke Baldur's Gate 3 stuff and the woke Starfield stuff, like, over the last few weeks. But I've had a lot of fun talking about it with you and Fitz when he was here. Because all we did was like, stupid. And then when something serious happened, we talked about it seriously.
About it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm down for that. That's kind of my attitude towards these things. As time has gone on the last couple of months, that patience is just wearing down. But yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. It's Starfield. Staying up late to play video games has saved someone's life. So the next time you're getting shit for staying up late playing video games, just show people this story and say, hey, look, man, could save our lives. You never know.
That's true.
That is true. Well, I'm done talking about Starfield. Am I done talking about Starfield? Yeah, I'm done talking about Starfield for the week of you are.
Yes, good.
Cool. Should we do an indie game of the week?
Yeah, go for it.
So this week's indie game of the week. Sorry, this is the thing we do every week where we talk about a cool-looking upcoming indie game. And I played a demo this week. A pretty beefy demo. I was on it for like nearly an hour and a half. It's for a survival horror game called Holstin. I'll read the description. A psychological survival horror game set on an eerie, isolated 90s Polish town consumed by an ominous presence. And then, like, yeah, monsters and shit. But, like, So there's the demo has like two parts to it, where it's like in one part it shows off its like exploration, atmosphere, and puzzles, and then in the other part it shows off its combat. And like all of the like running around and solving the puzzles and stuff was quite fun. It was really engaging. Like in the demo, you had to like basically mess around with lights because everything's covered in this stuff, like there's tentacles sprouting out of it. But if you shine lights on it, it disappears, and that's how you sort of navigate around this house that you're in to like get the items you need and do the things. And it was fun. And then I did the combat part of the game, and it did something that fucking broke my mind a little bit. So the perspective of this game is like, it's like the isometric perspective, like, you know, the offset, like pulled up camera, like like Baldur's Gate, but this is a pixel art game. And like you can rotate the camera around and stuff. But then when you get a gun, you aim the gun and the camera just goes, whoosh, and it's a third person over the shoulder camera, basically like a modern day Resident Evil remake. And it does it so seamlessly. And I was like, how the fuck did you do that? Like, I don't think any game has done that kind of perspective shift before. And like, I just started like aiming the gun, like while I was playing the demo for like a good few minutes, where I was just like, how the fuck does this work? Like, does the game render itself as a third person like shooter essentially? And then like, but the camera's up here most of the time, but there's no like stuttering or loading or anything. It literally, you can see the camera go and move into position. I'm just like, basically, I need to talk to these developers and be like, what the fuck did you do? And how did you do it? How does this work? It's so fucking cool. Like, it's called Holstin, and there's a link in the description. And like, I definitely like highly recommend go like play the demo and just start the combat tutorial, do the bit where you get a gun, and just fucking see it for yourself, man. It's fucking nuts. I love it.
It is very good.
I was very blown away by it.
It looks very good, no doubt about it.
Like the game is like good as well, don't get me wrong, but just this one thing was just like, what the fuck? It's like when I was playing the Viewfinder demo and I used the camera for the first time. It was a similar sort of, what the fuck? How did that happen? Kind of like thing in my brain. But yeah, it's been developed and published by Sonka, and it's coming 2024 to Steam. Go wishlist it, because developers like it when you wishlist it, and it's really helpful for them.
It is indeed.
And also, seriously, go play the fucking demo. And if anyone can explain how it works to me in ways that I'll understand, that would be much appreciated. Yeah, so that was our indie game of the week. Halftime, right?
Halftime show. Here
halftime show. Go. It's not a show though. Like, we keep calling it a halftime show, but we just jump.
So basically, you're saying you need to put in a little clip at the minute in between. I get the 1 minute clip show.
Yeah, like a 30-second, 1 minute sort of like standby screen. We need to workshop this. Maybe. We need an actual halftime show. Should we just get someone like Fitz to just like give us 30 seconds of anything. Yeah. Like, no, what we should do is we should get fake ad reads. You know how like all the podcasts on YouTube, they do like this podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. We need to do that, but we need to have like jokey, funny, stupid ones. Like, we'll get somebody else to do it, and then we'll put it in the middle of the podcast.
But this one is sponsored by Box Space.
Yeah. This video is sponsored by Pronouns.
This one is sponsored by GoClip.
Yeah. Get 30 days free.
Go Snip.
Crunchyroll.
Go and chow down on these crunchy balls.
Crunchy balls. This podcast is brought to you by crunchyballs.com. All the balls you can possibly eat. All right. We don't have a halftime show this week. I'm not commissioning that within 24 hours. So, yeah, it's just going to be the normal thing. There's one question I need to ask you before we hop into Moody's time to shine. Have you lost another display? Because there was two.
Three actually fell.
All right, because I'm sure there was two.
If only two fell, then another
last
one's
time.
fallen.
Yeah. Well, I think you noticed. You noticed in the podcast. That was my first clue. I looked and I saw tally, and I was like, "Huh." And then I looked at your wall, and I was like, "I'm sure only two were gone last week."
Yeah, they're basically just falling apart.
Oh dear.
I'm just gonna have to get new stickers. That's all for it to keep
that's
them up
fine.
and everything, but it's fine.
I
also have to fill in that hole.
Yes. Is that a hole?
Yeah.
Oh damn.
It's ripped off the plaster.
Oh god.
Yeah. The splits are they're strong.
Oh yeah. Well, they are made of metal.
I'm falling, I'm taking you with me, motherfucker.
Yeah.
The wall didn't drop.
Just the whole fucking wall, just like slowly, like I'm just gonna watch like every week to week, and your wall's just gonna be coming apart piece by piece.
I'm just gonna be outside with the pub.
Yeah.
With the locals.
I needed to get some air in here. It's really hot.
I had the door shut. Now I haven't. I've got it open. I'm just like, oh my god.
Yeah, that room is cool. But like, as someone who spent a little bit of time in it not long ago, it can heat up pretty quick there.
Yeah, I'm like, aircon.
Aircon.
Put it right there and just have it aiming at me.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
I don't care how much it costs.
I'm thinking aircon.
Screw the puppy. She can last a week without.
I'm thinking about for next year looking into aircon myself, just because it's like I hate wearing my hair back like in a ponytail. Like I hate it, but if I don't do it during these warmer months while we're podcasting, I will melt. So I have to make that compromise. So I'm just like, yeah, aircon. That sounds like a really good idea.
That's understandable.
Yeah. So, do you want to shine?
I don't think I could shine around with all this sweat on me.
Well,
right
no,
now,
you'll.
okay,
sorry, let me try. Let me try that again. Because do you want to glisten?
Why not? Let's go. What have we got? I haven't really looked at it. Let's go with the good one already that we all thought was going to probably happen. E3 2024 reportedly is in doubts already, Amy. We're not even in 2024 and there's doubts already.
Just this popped up today. I just added this one and another one just before we started recording. The organizer of E3, Reed Pop, has pulled out of E3. Like they're not organizing E3 anymore. So this is combined with the ESA telling the tourism board in LA. We talked about this a few months ago, telling them that E3 is not going to be in LA in 2024. According to GamesIndustry.biz, their sources say that the ESA is now preparing to completely reinvent E3 for 2025. And that's the info.
Said that in 2019.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well, I remember when we were laughing at their ideas for reinventing E3. And then COVID, understandable. Everybody got taken out by COVID. But yeah, then they brought it back for 1 year, didn't they? 2022?
I think so. Can't fully remember.
One of the years was an E3, and it was fine. And then, yeah, it obviously didn't happen this year again. But like, I don't mean to speak ill of Reed Pop, right? Like the organizer behind it, but I'm going to say some stuff that might sound like I am, which is I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing that if the ESA want E3 to, even if they completely reinvent it, if they want it to still serve the same function that it did previously, I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing that Reed Pop aren't going to be organizing it. And the reason for that is because Reed Pop just did PAX West over the weekend. And literally, there's nothing on the ground for PAX West. Like, there's been no coverage. There's been a little bit of coverage, which might talk about later. But, like, there's been nobody posting, like, no sites or YouTubers posting about the games that they played at PAX West. Like, there's barely been any coverage of PAX West. Like, I'm sure it was a great show, and I'm sure, like, everybody who went had a great time. But, like, that's kind of antithetical to the whole purpose of E3. So I'm not necessarily bummed out that ReedPop aren't organising E3 anymore.
Yeah. No, I didn't realize West was on this week and everything like that, so I didn't even realize it was going on. So
Yeah,
if it's gone like down like a fart in a hurricane, it sucks to hear that just for the people who've probably gone there and everything. I'm sure.
I think it was probably a great experience for the people that went, right? Like, because everyone did their panels and stuff, and I'm sure there was stuff there to play and whatnot. But like, as far as like getting the word out about your cool new game, I don't think. Well, that didn't happen. The only reason I knew PAX West happened the past weekend is because of one news story that's in here, which mentions this thing happened at PAX West. And I was like, if I hadn't have been reading the news, not social media, the news sites, I wouldn't have known that PAX West was a thing. And I'm pretty sure I said it was happening on this podcast.
Maybe, and
I completely forgot about it because nothing came out from it. But yeah, E3 might not be back until 2025, if it's coming back at all. I don't know. Well, really, we need to know what they're actually planning, because it's the ESA. I don't really trust them. I have my reasons. They're good reasons.
Stick with PAX West, Amy. Nintendo reportedly showed off Switch 2 behind closed doors at Gamescom. Well, not PAX West. At Gamescom.
I was going to say, I was like, you said PAX West, and then I was like, can't wait till you read the end of this sentence.
Oh, bite me.
this wasn't the PAX West story. Yeah, so according to a report from Eurogamer, Nintendo showed off Switch 2 behind closed doors, and they were running a Breath of the Wild tech demo. So like it was like a beefed up version of Breath of the Wild that ran to the specs of the new console, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, we know it's coming and everything. Like, they'll talk about it when they want to talk about it. If they start to show it behind closed doors, that's probably the show. That's kind of like probably a sign that they are probably getting ready to, or at least having discussions to say, all right, when do we want to actually talk about this and reveal this?
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Who wants to release a game on this thing, you know? Like,
yeah,
like we need to get some launch titles.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's like, what is it? It always depends if they want to do the same thing as what they did with the Switch, which is obviously they released it before the end of the physical year, which would be April for them, or the end of March. So if that's what they're aiming for, we're going to find out soon, like in the next 6 months.
Yeah, well, they did, because they were talking about the NX for years beforehand. Like, that was the code name. The code name was the NX.
Complained they turned it into the Switch, and then now they're all used to the Switch and like the Switch.
One of my proudest achievements on this podcast was I sat here with like 3 other people after the Switch reveal. And everybody was like, "Oh, a console that's also a handheld? What a terrible idea!" And I sat on this podcast movie and I said, "It's a fucking great idea." And I was right. Suck it, everybody who was on that podcast. But yeah, no, that they did the trailer late in 20. What year did it come out? 2017. So they did a trailer in like November, December 2016.
Was it? I thought it was like that's the year it came out.
No, so they did the full reveal conference thing, was where they showed off like the Rumble and stuff. In I want to say January or February, January 2017. But they did a trailer. It was that dumbass trailer where they were like, "Look at all the places you can play this thing," and it was like, you can take it with you when you play basketball. You can take it with you to your rooftop parties that you go to. It's just like nobody understands us. If we were getting invited to rooftop parties, we wouldn't need video games. But yeah, no. I don't think they'll put it out before this financial year. I think it'll be next the end of next year, / beginning of 2025. I think.
Google second half of 2024. But so what? Google's got facts right, so obviously it's not going to happen.
Google's telling people to fucking clean their coffee machines out by baking bread in them, and we can't really trust Google anymore.
That's true. So the original Switch released on the 3rd of March 2017.
I remember 2017 because it launched with Breath of the Wild, and I remember when Breath of the Wild launched. Just another insight into Amy's broken brain and now how it has to connect information.
In the Breath of the Wild sequel.
Sequel.
Tears of the Kingdom producer, not going to take that name, says
Eiji
no plans
Aonuma
for DLC or sequel.
So this was an interview with Famitsu, translated by @Genki_JPN on Twitter, or X. Legend of Zelda producer Eiji Aonuma has suggested that the current iteration of the series has hit its creative limit. Quote, "We have no plans to release additional content at this time, but that is because we feel like we have done all we can do to create play in the world. The reason we decided to make a sequel to the previous game in the first place was because we thought it would be worth experiencing new ways to play in Hyrule. If such reasons arise, then we may return to the same world. Whether it is a sequel or new work, I think it will be a completely new way to play, so I hope you will look forward to it," end quote.
I'll say this, for me, that sounds brilliant. Because
Yeah.
it's like the story of this franchise, of the first one and the sequel, it's done. It's done and dusted. They're happy with it. They don't feel like they have anything else to talk about for this game. Let's do something new and different with Zelda. That's fantastic to hear. So for me, yay, go for it.
It's like that IGN video that came out about Baldur's Gate 3, and one of the questions it asked was why could just like a game like Tears of the Kingdom happen, which is like so amazing and whatnot, and like this is one of the reasons why. It's because once the team who make the Zelda games have gone, we've reached our limit with like what we want to do with this iteration of Zelda, they go, cool, so we'll just make something completely different next time. Not, but it makes money though, so we should milk it as much as possible. Like, nah, man, fuck that.
So one thing I think everybody should give Nintendo credit. They don't beat about the bush about this. They don't go, all right, get the third one out. We want it out by 2025, 2026 at the latest, please.
Yeah.
So we can continue this conversation. We're probably not going to see a brand new Zelda. I'm going to say 2030.
Cool. It depends.
I think we'll see something of a Zelda in that time, which is something new. We could have another, let's say, a remaster or remake of like what was the one they did a while ago?
Link's Awakening.
Yeah, Link's Awakening. I loved Link's Awakening. I absolutely adored that little playthrough again. I thought it was so cute and adorable, and really enjoyed the mechanics for that game. And if they bring us something like that for another game, that I'm all for that for as well. So it's like, this is fantastic. Like the amount of time people complain about, sequel again, a sequel again, a sequel again. Oh, it's the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. They're just spewing this shit out just to keep on the revenue type of thing and whatnot, and not instead of taking their time when it comes to it. Nintendo do it well, and you are rewarded for that time of waiting. Like the Tears of the Kingdom is arguably was the best-selling game of the year. It was at least one of the best-selling games of the year. Period, no doubt about.
The best-selling game of the year. It's got to be the best-selling game of the year.
But for now, until November?
We'll see.
and whatnot. But no, yeah, that's like the patience that they have for it's incredible. Like for the Nintendo exclusives.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about that. So I'm happy for this. This is brilliant.
It's just such a really nice breath of fresh air. Pun not intended. A breath of fresh air to like see like a creative team like make what they want to make, right? Like they're not pumping out Breath of the Wild 3 and Breath of the Wild 4 and like just running that well as dry like until it's completely bone dry. It's like they could make another sequel like to Tears of the Kingdom and make fucking bazillions of dollars, right? Like easily, because everyone would buy it. But they've gone, we don't really have anything more we want to do with this world, right? Like because like the you know, we don't have any more story to tell. They don't seem, according to this, have like an idea of how they could revolutionize the gameplay again, which is what they did between Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So just move on and do something else. Like Zelda barely has sequels. Like Majora's Mask was a sequel to Ocarina of Time, and then they moved on to Wind Waker. Like, they went from Majora's Mask, one of the darkest entries in the Legend of Zelda series, to the cartoon one, and they were both awesome.
Yeah,
like that's what I love about this
series.
series.
Calling for remakes of those ones all the time, to my knowledge.
Yeah,
Majora's Mask.
Well, yeah, Majora's Mask remake would be nice. I'm glad you can play it on Switch Online. I need to like fill in my Zelda gaps. I have gaps of like not played certain Zeldas, and I want to fill those in at some point.
Well,
I love Zelda games. But yeah, like I mean, for all the flaws and faults of the company that publishes it, like to use another example, like Final Fantasy does this too, where it's just like every game is a reinvention, and that's why it's endured so long.
Yeah, that's why I think like love or hate the company, Bethesda kind of does the same, especially when it comes to a Todd Howard game. Like you're not going to see Elder Scrolls until 2030 minimum, I think. If it's earlier,
well, what?
Okay,
no, no.
But you know what I mean? Like Starfield has been in development since 2015, so it's like that's 8 years. They took their sweet ass time for this. Yes, they've delayed it a few times. Thank fucking God for it. You know, like they've took their time. Maybe it's been delayed, obviously, because of the buyout when obviously Microsoft took over. Maybe
mergers and acquisitions. You know, they're pretty bumpy. For making things.
I can appreciate that. Yeah. But at the same time, they still take the time. Skyrim took a while. Fallout 4 took a while. There was a massive gap between Skyfield
and Fall Scrolls. You are right. They're all the same game. Who said that? What? Get them.
You know what I mean? Like there was a massive gap between those two, between Skyrim and Fallout 4. So
yeah, of course it was. They're huge games. They take time to make, and like as much as I don't particularly care for the style of game that Bethesda games makes, I do appreciate that they're very good at what they do.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Unless they're making a Fallout 76. But, you know, my only concern with that is, like, while we're on the subject of that and not Nintendo, is can you just give Fallout to somebody else? I don't want to have to wait till 2040 to play the next fucking Fallout game. That's a long time, man.
I don't think you're going to see it, I think.
I know. They're not going to do it. But, that like, please, no. I need more Fallout. I need a New Vegas too.
It's more like you don't need more Fallout, you need more New Vegas.
I'll just play New Vegas again.
That's true.
It's one of those games that I can just replay and not get sick of it. Fucking.
Game actors could go on strike.
Yes, they could. SAG-AFTRA's National Board voted unanimously to send strike authorization vote to members of the Interactive Video Games Agreement, basically video game actors. A contract between actors working in the games industry and signatory companies including Activision Blizzard, EA, Epic Games, WB Games, and more. Members have until September 25th to vote on whether to accept the strike authorization. If they do, this will not automatically trigger a strike, but rather give them authorization to call a strike should talks between the union and video game companies break down. SAG-AFTRA has been negotiating a new contract with game publishers for almost a year since the previous one expired, but talks have reached a stalemate. This contract is separate to the film and TV industry, which are currently on strike. The union is asking the companies to agree to the following, and I got this from gamesindustry.biz. 1. The same wage increases for video game performers as those in TV and film, 11% retroactive to the deal's expiration and 4% in both the second and third years of the agreement. The union argues these are necessary to account for inflation. 2. Artificial intelligence protections around consent, control, transparency, and compensation. 3. On-camera performers to be given rest periods of 5 minutes per hour, the same as off-camera performers. 4. Set medics to be present where any stunts or hazardous work is being performed, as is the case with TV and film. Fucking mental that they don't have that already. 5. Prohibitions against stunts on performers' self-taped auditions. And 6. Protections against vocal stress. Wait, stunts on self-taped Jesus Christ, guys. You want people to do stunts on auditions in their house?
Sweet. I used to wrestle when I was a kid.
Yeah, sure.
that was a stunt, right?
Yeah, just throw myself off the roof. Yeah, great. Did I get the job? No. Okay.
I wasn't that crazy. But anyway, this is if this is something that they believe they need to do and everything like that, go for it. And everything like that, unionize, like we've stated on many occasions, we have nothing but the support for the SAG actors, writers, the whole shebang. Hollywood, stop being douches. Like seriously, like Bob Iger. Like seriously, you like 34 million a year, mate. Fuck off. Seriously, I love you to bits, Bob, because like I thought the era you did with Disney when you were CEO and everything is arguably one of the greatest eras of all time. But right now you're tarnishing your legacy because of this, and it's sickening for me to see this. But either way, yeah, go for it. Unionize, do the whole shebang. If you can unionize, go for it. Get the pay you deserve. You don't deserve to be treated like shit and everything like that. So go for it.
Yeah, definitely. Like they're all of the bullet points that I just read there from what SAG-AFTRA wants for the video game actors. Yeah, they're all they're all fair. I wouldn't say any of them was like, oh, maybe that's an overreach. It's like, no, they're all good. Some of them just seem fucking baffling to me that they don't already exist. Like set medics being present when stunts are being performed. Like, you don't have medics standing by when someone's doing a stunt? Seriously? So I thought that was just a given. But yeah, it is always important to remember like how much money the executives of these companies make compared to like how much this would cost. Like the TV and film industry has already lost far more money than it would have cost to just give the writers and actors everything they wanted.
That's the crazy thing about it.
Yeah, because it's not really about the money. Like it's about control.
Yeah.
They don't like to give up their control. But yeah, no, the wage increases, cool. The AI protections, absolutely. Like, there's a discussion to be had about artificial intelligence in general, but I don't really want to have it right now. The rest periods and, yeah, protections against vocal stress. Someone who's been doing voice training recently, it's like, yeah, vocal stress fucks you up. And it's not my job to talk. So I can only imagine if it is. It's like, Jesus. But yeah, if you enjoy video games, you should support this, and I wouldn't understand why you wouldn't, but I'm sure there's people out there complaining about it already.
Yeah.
Fucking get them. That's what I say to the voice actors. Fucking get them.
Skull and Bones is never coming out, Amy.
It's never coming out. Well, this is a slightly more optimistic story than it sounds like. Sort of. The title is Skull and Bones has lost its third creative director. So according to a report from Kotaku, Elizabeth Pellin, the lead developer of Skull and Bones at Ubisoft Singapore, has left the studio to take a role at Ubisoft Paris. Pellin started work at the studio in 2018 with a mission to reboot development on Skull and Bones. According to a statement given to Kotaku, quote, she succeeded and the Skull and Bones team is now fulfilling her vision to deliver a unique naval action RPG experience to our players, end quote. Hopefully, Pellin was also successful in curbing the reported misconduct, such as racism and sexism, at the studio, which has prompted Singapore's creative media and publishing team to begin organising a labour campaign. A spokesperson for Ubisoft confirmed to Kotaku that a ballot exercise is being enacted this week. Quote, eligible Singapore team members will be able to determine whether formal recognition should be granted, end quote. So, like, Ubisoft Singapore fucked up so bad that thinking they might be unionizing.
Awesome.
Basically.
Either way, awesome. I hope that what the article says is right, that, like, she has steadied the ship. She's got it back on track, and whoever the fourth creative director comes in, is that there's someone that they've helped hire and like they've agreed on the vision to continue with the vision for this game and kept it going. If not, and they bring in a fourth person who completely disrupts the whole thing and just destroys everything that's done and starts with a brand new vision, again, I will reiterate what I said, this game is not coming out.
Considering Skull and Bones, this is where my advantage of watching every E3 every year comes into play. That considering Skull and Bones went from fun multiplayer pirate game a la Sea of Thieves to a PvP 4v4 multiplayer pirate game to what now seems to be a single player survival pirate RPG. Like, the worst possible thing that could happen right now is if another creative director comes in and decides they want to fucking change the game. It's like, no, at this point, the next creative director of Skull and Bones needs to just go, right, what's the plan? Cool, we're sticking to that plan.
I agree.
I'll make my game next. If they try to change this at this point, the whole thing's going to fucking collapse again. So it is positive, potentially. But it has the potential to just, like, get fucking completely fucked. Do I think it's coming out this year? No.
No fucking way, no way.
No.
Creative directors, like, they are like the egos on them are crazy, and I don't mean that in a nasty way. It's just like they have a vision of what they want to that they want to try and get in, put out in the game and everything, which I can completely understand and appreciate. But there's also there's that level of there's that time. There's not the level. There's that time and place for the game of there's like this game has been in development hell for flipping years, and it needs to just now. If she has completely righted the ship and it's on course brilliantly to finally sail into port and release and everything.
He's doing it on purpose now.
I gotta go for it. I gotta get those puns in somehow. That's fantastic and everything, but like, yeah, I hope it doesn't, and I hope it does land port and it does release. Like
land port.
The whole, it's like, that's why I like a quote was that, I don't know if it was last week or the week before, it's like, with the BioWare whole situation, I was just like, for fuck's sake, another creative director's fucking off Dragon Age, and I'm just like,
it's like,
and then the release, then the sackings happened and whatnot, and it's just like,
yeah,
we're never getting this game.
Yeah, no, yeah, like, I think the best possible, for me, the best case scenario for Skull and Bones, and it could be, you know what, it could come out, could be fucking amazing. But I think what's most likely to happen, hopefully, is that it comes out and it's a Dead Island 2, where it's like, you know, this game has been in development for a long time. It's come out, and you know what? It's surprisingly pretty good. Like, it's not amazing, but considering the development it's been through, it's a fucking miracle that it came out as well as it did. I think Skull and Bones, you know, it could be that. Like, if
I hope so.
Like, 2018 was 5 years ago. So Pellin's had 5 years to steady the ship and stop it from sinking.
Well, going off from that guy from Bethesda, was it? Says like Microsoft says development's like 7 years. They've got 2 more years left, so
5 to 7 years. We don't know what. I mean, the thing is, we don't really know what this game actually is.
That's true.
Amazingly enough, for the amount that we've actually like seen of it. Problem is, like, every time we saw it, it changed. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Cross fingers.
I do have my fingers crossed. I always have my fingers crossed. I don't like Ubisoft as a company. I fucking hate Ubisoft as a company, but the people who make the games, I like them. I want to see them do well. So I want this game to come out and be good.
Developers feel their job are unsustainable.
Yeah, this one was an interesting one. I came across this on GameDeveloper.com this morning. It was written by Justin Carter, who says, The International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, IATSE, or IATSE, as I'm going to call them from now on, conducted a survey for game developers. Workers within the industry from AAA to indie and mobile used it to reveal their uncertainty about the future. Quote, most game workers reported that their... I don't think that's a quote. There it is. Quote, most game workers reported that their game career is either unsustainable or they're unsure whether it is sustainable, begins the survey, and less than half make it to their 7th year working in the industry, end quote. According to the survey, nearly 38% of those who asked find that the industry isn't sustainable, while 19.2% were uncertain. Those with multiple decades in the industry had a more positive outlook, at least in regards to their own careers. Of those asked, 57% recently worked on a AAA title. Those type of games tend to have extremely large budgets, and those working on them have implied in the past that the games in question can be daunting to work on. Further, the stated average industry experience is 6.9 years. Retention and building up a legacy of developers has been a sizable problem within games for years, as the industry is prone to layoffs, if not outright studio closures, on a fairly consistent basis. Many developers got candid with the IATSE survey. One noted it was, quote, frustrating to work a 14-hour day. I know that with California overtime laws, I should be getting paid for 18 hours of my time when I'm only getting paid 8, end quote. 45% admitted their current pay doesn't keep up with the rising cost of living, especially in large cities like LA, San Francisco, or Seattle. 54.3% said they weren't able to negotiate for a raise, and 2 out of every 3 responders, quote, don't believe they were in a position to negotiate viable solutions to these problems on their own, end quote. Because of those issues and others such as pay disparity and crunch, IATSE believes that the game industry has been, quote, suspended in a parallel reality compared to other sectors of entertainment where union representation is more common, end quote. While unions have emerged within the game industry over the last several years at various studios, some with IATSE's help, there still isn't a widespread union for video games at large. It's even more noticeable since, as the survey points out, video games have become, quote, 5 times more profitable for these employers than movies, end quote. Per IGN, the end goal from IATSE is to spark a larger unionization effort among game developers, but first it'll hold a town hall with those surveyed to determine its next course of action.
Goes back. This is very interesting, no doubt about it, because this goes back to what a teacher of mine said at Gates College when I was there. He said that the video game industry right now is in a sharp upward trend when it comes to its profits and whatnot.
Absolutely.
And eventually, it's going to hit its peak, and then it's going to nosedive.
Yeah.
And whatnot, and it's going to be because the video game industry is not sustainable, but 2, because of the lack of developers. Like what it said, like some of them don't even reach 7 years and everything like that. I'm only in my first full fucking year and whatnot when it comes to it. So I've got 6 years left and then I'm retiring.
And then you're gone. Gonna go and work at a software company somewhere. That's actually an interesting point because as part of the research I was doing for the video that I was making, I read a lot about Atari in the 1980s, the big video game crash that happened in the 1980s, in like around 1983. And one of the things I sort of learned, and this is part of the video, was that a lot of extremely talented... One thing that caused the Atari to crash so hard was a lot of extremely talented and experienced designers and programmers all left the company at the same time, and Atari thought they could just replace them with whoever. And then it turns out they couldn't replace that experience with whoever, and all of the games that they started putting out were bad, poorly made, etc. And that's one of the major contributions towards the video game crash of 1983.
What hurts it even more is that, like, right now prices are nothing but going up. They're raising the game prices, like what, $70, £70 right now. And the probably when the next generation comes up, they'll probably try and justify knocking up to £80, if not higher.
Yeah, like,
and their thing will be the video games cost is more expensive. No,
it's expensive to make video games.
You're putting that money in. You're making it expensive. It ain't us who's making it expensive. It's you guys who are making it bloody expensive. It's a lot of bollocks.
It's the snake devouring its own tail. What's it called?
Yeah.
Ouroboros.
Ouroboros, isn't it?
Ouroboros, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like they'll raise the prices, but also like inflation is going up, and our wages aren't going up to match either. So then we buy less video
I feel
games.
like I've heard this before.
Yeah, so then we buy less video games. Your teacher's absolutely spot on with what they said. That's the lie of capitalism, is that you can experience infinite growth. The numbers will always go up, and that's just not fucking possible. Like, when that idea smashes into reality at some point, yeah, it will stop going up, and there will be down years. And how bad the down years are depends on how well prepared the industry is. Like, from my perspective, from an outsider, even I can see that like a lot of talented, experienced people leave the industry because of the way the industry is, and it's very difficult to get into the industry if you don't already have industry experience. And those two facts are causing the games industry to devour itself.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Like, yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see right now. Like, it is very interesting. Like, people, like, our status, like, on many occasions, like, both you and me, like, we've praised Game Pass on multiple occasions of how great that offer it is and everything like that. But, like, after, like, speaking to people and everything like that, there's, like, a lot of people have asked, like, let me rephrase this. Let me get this right.
Yeah, sure.
Microsoft, if they were the same price as Sony, would not have been able to do this. Obviously. Because they're Microsoft, they're a $2 trillion company. They're able to sustain it and to still be able to put all of their exclusives on straight away day one for Game Pass and everything like that. They don't think if they were the same as Sony, they wouldn't have been able to do the same thing and whatnot. Which is like, how can this be truly sustainable long term and everything? And then it comes to the thing of like, well, all the $1 trillion companies are going to have to eat up all the $1 billion companies and blah, blah, blah. Oh, wait, that's happening right now.
That's what's happening. Yeah.
And we're getting closures like what we talked about last week.
Yeah.
There's 2 closures that are happening, which is just devastating to see and whatnot. And like
mass layoffs. Like I was like that screenshot I shared with you in Discord where I was reading Edge magazine and I saw that quote from that ex-Coalition developer.
It's like you see all of this thing, like all the CEOs and the executives, all that with these millions and millions of dollars in wages and whatnot, and like
it's
the guy who's the head of the CEO of EA. His wage is disgusting, and they fired 50 people. What was it? 50 people from BioWare?
50 people from BioWare, including people who worked on games 20, 30 fucking years ago.
Yeah, they could have not paid him for 1 month, and they could have kept all of them for a year.
They could have kept them on like through whatever fucking bullshit, but they have to make the numbers go up.
That's the thing about it.
That's how they do it.
Yeah, I know. We all know why they do it. There's no doubt about that and everything. It's a lot of bollocks and everything. What's the thing is about it? Because they're the ones who are making it unsustainable. If they just stayed at the same number, not losing, and maybe a little bit, but don't need to have to fucking constantly go up every single fucking year.
Yep.
It just makes it so unsustainable.
If we lived in a system where like a company was successful if it was making money, that would, you know what I mean? That would solve so many problems straight away. But the problem is we somehow do not live in a system where if a company is profitable, it is not successful. Like, you shared that article from gamesindustry.biz in Discord that I didn't put in the notes because it was really long, about what's happening with Devolver and Tiny Build right now, and the subscription services. And it's like those companies are on a downward trend. So they're being seen as unsuccessful. They're still making money. Like, Devolver's down year on year because it hasn't had a hit as big as Cult of the Lamb. Like, Cult of the Lamb was a big hit last year. Like,
yeah, it was. But because a lot of people's 10 out of top 10 games.
Yeah, but because they haven't released a hit as big as that in 2023, all of a sudden it's like, ooh, Devolver in trouble. Because the world is nonsense. And it makes no sense.
It really doesn't. That's the thing about it. So, but more just makes it more annoying. So.
Wow, damn. We both sounded really. I think we both sounded really smart there.
Unionize, just fucking unionize.
Yeah, unionize. Like, Jesus, man. Like, yeah, that's it. That's all I've got. You know, it's baby.
Let's go to her, Amy.
Uh-oh.
You know which one I mean.
I don't.
It's the one you know you want to talk about.
I want to talk about a few of these, but which one do you want to...
I'm highlighting it now.
Oh yeah, the thing where I was like, if Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 comes out this year, I'll eat my cup. Well, guess what? Amy doesn't need to eat a cup, because Amy's always right. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2.
Give Amy too much power, people. We really do.
People just go on the internet and say the dumbest things, and it's so easy to just go, actually, that's probably not true.
I like saying dumb things, okay? Leave me alone.
Not you. You agreed with me.
So clearly I was dumb then.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 has a new developer and a 2024 release window. Paradox Interactive announced at PAX West that the Chinese Room, developer of Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs and Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, is developing the troubled sequel. According to World of Darkness Vice President Sean Greeny, the proposal from the studio for Bloodlines 2, quote, made them ideal partners to develop a story in the Vampire the Masquerade setting, end quote. The game was initially being developed by Hardsuit Labs alongside the original game's narrative designer Brian Mitsoda and had initially been scheduled to launch in 2020. After multiple delays, Mitsoda was let go from the project and eventually Hardsuit Labs was removed altogether. Bloodlines 2 is now targeting a late 2024 release date with a gameplay reveal set for January. So my first thought was, cool, Vampire's back. My second thought was, the Chinese Room. That's an interesting pick for developing this game. And again, hey, you know, like, studios can be talented or make other things, but their history of the games that they've made, you know, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, DRS to Amnesia, A Machine for Pigs, and then I think about a massive open world immersive sim sandbox RPG, assuming Bloodlines 2 is going to be, like, you know, the same kind of game as Bloodlines.
Yeah.
That's an interesting pick. I'm excited to see what they've got. I just thought it was an interesting pick.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Like, Chinese Room, they're well respected in the industry overall for it. Like, they are very well respected, which is really good to see this. I'm just glad to see that this seems like it's landed on its feet for a long time. After all the craziness that's happened and everything that we've reported on and talked about on many occasions about this. And I just hope it does come out for you, and that for the people who love this type of franchise, this game, that it's good. That's all I'm caring about for you, is that it comes out and that this game is good, and you guys can literally just say, this was good. Bloodline 2 was good.
See you in 6 months. I love Bloodlines. It's such a good game. But yeah, it would be nice to get a sequel. The original gameplay reveal of Bloodlines 2 being developed in 2019, I remember it did look a bit like, uh-oh. Like, they showed off some combat and it was like, oh, that doesn't look great.
Oh.
But I you know what? January. I've got that month circled in my calendar.
For doing nothing.
For whenever you want to show me some gameplay of this game, I'm there. I'm looking forward to seeing more. And you know what? If it comes out and I don't like it, Bloodlines 1 still exists.
True. That's true. That's the thing about it. You still got Bloodlines 1 and you still enjoy that. So that's
still a good game.
Yeah, it's still a good game. Alone in the Dark reboot delayed to January 2024, Amy.
Put this in here just to applaud the honesty. Quote, our intention is to avoid competing with the Wake of Alan's epic release and to evade the dazzling skyline of cities adorned by the graceful swings of Spider-Man. We aim to truly remain as alone in the dark as possible. This extension will serve a dual purpose. Not only will it permit us to meticulously perfect the gaming experience, but it will also grant us the opportunity to fully immerse ourselves in the remarkable releases of October, end quote. First of all, Bravo. Whoever wrote that amazing piece of art, unbelievably good.
Yeah, honestly, we're getting the fuck out of the way of Alan Wake 2 and Spider-Man 2.
And City Skylines.
City Skylines, yeah.
Number 2, Like, fucking, I just appreciate the honesty. They were just like, yeah, we looked at everything else that was coming out the week we were coming out and went, fuck that.
We wish to feed our staff.
We want this game to sell.
Yeah. Which is, good idea. Yeah, always gives the extra time, always gives that little chance to get more polish and everything like that, which is really great to see.
Yep.
So yeah, great idea. Go for it. Get the hell out of the way. October's busy as hell already.
Yep.
Alleviates pressure on me and Amy. Well, not much pressure. We probably not lie. Probably would not have played this game.
After seeing the delay and also this statement, I'll tell you what. More interested in the game now.
Because you've got out of the way, I'm now interested.
No, I just love that first paragraph. It's fucking incredible.
We're getting the fuck out of the way of 3 games. Understandable.
The puns.
See you in 2024.
It's just laden with puns. They knew exactly how to write this, so I would read it on the podcast.
That was written for you, Amy.
It was written specifically for me.
For you.
Yeah. But, yeah, through no fault of Alone in the Darks, I was never going to be able to get around to playing this when it came out. It's just not happening. Like, all 3 of the games that are referenced in this statement are all 3 games that I want to play. So, that's it. That's my conclusion. But no, this was an awesome thing to read.
Yeah,
Hats off to the person who wrote it.
Hats off to them, and well done. And it takes balls to literally say, we want to drop in the fall. It's going to be a better time. No, it's not, guys. It's not. Get the fuck out of the way.
No.
Have you seen what's there? What's there? These 3 games.
Yeah.
On top of a Mario as well. Let's not forget this. A Mario drops
so
as well.
like that release, those games that are releasing are literally within the same 7-day period.
Yeah.
Of where
It's
Alone in the Dark was. So like they didn't mention the other games because they were just outside of that window.
Like now, next week is probably gonna be the best time to probably release something, because I'm only going off what your schedule is on the calendar where we share.
Yeah.
Compared to other big releases, there's nothing until the week after.
Yep.
Which is like, we have one little quiet week where we're like, all right, I can get into City of Stars. It's the Stars of Cities. What is it?
Sea of Stars.
Sea of Stars. You called it Sea of Starts, so it's okay.
Did I?
You did, yeah. I was like, Sea of Starts? All right. But no, yeah, it's like, yeah, we're moving. It's rocking and rolling. We're grooving and everything like that. So it's like really, really canny.
Metal Gear Solid comes out that week as well. Sorry, the week that Alone in the Dark was in the Metal Gear Solid collection, Ghost Runner 2, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and Slay the Princess all come out the same week. Like the same 7 days. What the fuck? Fucking hell, guys. What did you do?
Ding dong. We have lost.
Yeah, we have.
Sorry to all those games that I'm probably going to miss in October. Okay.
Oh, it's going to be a bloodbath.
If I can. Like, I've already locked down Christmas, it's Baldur's Gate 3 on PS5. I've already stated this on multiple occasions, and it's what I'm going for. That is my Christmas game. That's it. So I have nothing else. That's it. I'm not going to touch anything else unless it bores me, and I'm just like, nah,
that's fair. If it's something you don't like, then that's fair.
I'm going to be annoyed though. I'm going to whack 50 quid on this thing, and I'm like, that's
I suppose. There's no physical edition, is there?
No. My boss was looking at it today because I think he's going to get it. He was like, there's no physical edition? No.
Maybe you get lucky and it comes out in Game Pass. Maybe.
They are never going to put that in Game Pass anytime soon.
I'm just saying. Look, I'm giving you like hope. I'm trying to give you a hope.
I know.
But yeah, no, like I'm thinking about the games that I've just listed, and it's like Alan Wake 2 is a definite. I've waited 13 years for that game. Slay the Princess is one of my most anticipated games. They just announced the release date is October 20th. And then I'm like, cool. So that's probably it, right? Like for time investment, that's probably all I can afford for time investment. I don't know when I'm going to find time for the other ones.
Damn.
Yeah, we one more.
Go Baldur's Gate.
Is it up these days? Is it really a Words About Games podcast if we don't talk about Baldur's Gate? Baldur's Gate 3 creative director pushes back against the game being a, quote, standard, end quote, for games. So, Sven Vinke, CEO and creative director of Larian Studios, said via GameDeveloper.com, quote, obviously, you shouldn't try to make a game like Baldur's Gate 3 if you don't have the resources to do so. But there's other developers there who have more resources than we have. So I'm sure that they will be making games after BG3 that will be bigger and better. It all really depends on where you invest your resources. So it's up to you as a developer. I mean, we're about to see Starfield come out, so I expect that to be huge, right? So I think that has probably more and more resources than we had to put in there. It all really depends on from what perspective you're looking at it from. If you're looking at it from the perspective of a smaller developer, you'll focus on different things when making games, but that doesn't mean that you can't come up with fantastic gameplay for a smaller game in scope. Some of my favorite games were made by indie developers, and likewise, if you're making very big games, there's lots and lots of ways that you can make them that work for you. So I think that I had an issue with people saying that these are the standards, because I don't think there are real standards in video games. I think there's a lot of evolution, which is one of the fantastic things about this medium. Things always get bigger and better, or not necessarily bigger, but definitely better, end quote. I appreciated his clarification on that last sentence. Like, bigger doesn't always mean better, guys. Trust. So it's obvious this was a response to a certain controversy that kicked off a few weeks ago.
Has he done his new video?
Of course he hasn't. Yet? It's not going to happen. He's not going to make that video.
He's like, I'm staying the fuck out of this because I'm going to play Starfield and then I'm going to.
Well, now everyone's talking about Starfield.
And then, yeah, and then everyone's going to complain about the video I'll do about that next.
Well, hey, look, the thing about that original IGN video is it got a lot of clicks, so he's going to do it again at some point.
Fuck it. They're always asking them, yo, we need controversy and we need clicks.
Do you have any controversial? Any controversial views about Starfield that you can shout all over the internet in the next week?
Have you heard a thing called pronouns?
If IGN went down that road, wow, I'd have a field day on this podcast.
Sure.
Yeah, no. What's weird is if you have a sense of deja vu, it's because literally a Larian developer, I don't remember if it was Sven or not, but literally we talked about this right before the game came out because another Larian developer said pretty much exactly the same thing about the game being a standard for the industry. So it does amuse me that they've had to come out and say it again. Like the same thing, more or less.
Yeah. It's because the industry goes fucking crazy as always. The gamers are like, oh my god, this is the new standard, blah, 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 blah. There's no doubt about it. The game going off, I'm just going off what you've said and what other people have said and everything like that. The game does raise the bar. There's no doubt about that, which is great to see. It's great to hear and everything like that. Sure. But also, like what you said and other people have stated, like, it's a boogie mess at the same fucking time, people.
Sure.
It's not perfect and everything like that. So, like, it raises the bar and, like, going off, like I said, what you've said and other people, that of characters, story, the multiple type of ways you can do a mission, the multiple, the not different fetch quest types of thing, you know, all different side quests, all different and unique, that explore and expand on the universe and make the game so rich and great to want to play and everything. That's obviously something that everyone should strive for and everything like that, which is great to see and everything like that. And like, yo, there's no doubt about it. It has raised the bar. When it comes to bugs, it's probably lowered the bar a little bit. Releasing the game.
Have you ever played a Bethesda game at launch? Bar was already low.
Apparently not that buggy.
This one,
which is weird.
Look, right.
And then you watch Steph Sterling's video, and you're just like, "Fuck me, Lord, that's buggy."
I'm gonna say,
yeah, it's like it's great. Like it doesn't like.
I'm going to say something to the response to this that's going to sound like I'm taking the piss, but I'm actually being serious, which is like the idea of like holding a game up to being like, this is the bar, all video games need to reach this bar or clear this bar, like, is just like, one, you is a guarantee for you to have a shit time playing video games. And two, it's just in general, it's just a dumb thing to do. Fallout New Vegas came out 13 years ago, and for me personally, nothing has cleared the bar of the experience that I had with that game. but I've still really enjoyed video games over the last 13 years.
What game did you say? Sorry, my brain
Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like...
And ironically, that was a buggy mess when it came out as well.
yeah, it's like...
But like, no, like, if I had to pick one game where I said, this was my favorite gaming experience ever, it's Fallout New Vegas. Does that mean every game that's come out since then that hasn't measured up to that experience that I had has been worse somehow because it hasn't met some imaginary standard in my mind? No, because that would be ridiculous.
World is ridiculous, there's no doubt about that.
Sitting there playing like fucking The Witcher 3 or fucking Baldur's Gate going, well, it's not, I'm not having as much fun as I did with Fallout New Vegas 13 years ago, so fucking shit, innit? Like, what the fuck, man?
It's like... It all depends on like the experience that you get and everything. Like, there's no doubt about it. The consensus is out there that Baldur's Gate 3 is an amazing game and it should be shouted from the rooftops. That's fantastic to hear and everything like that. When it comes to raising the bar, it's like there's always a game that comes out that says that raises the bar, that quote unquote raises the bar.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about that.
The Witcher 3 raised the bar for RPGs. You know, Persona 5 raised the bar for JRPGs. Forza Horizon raised the bar for driving games. Like,
yeah, and et cetera, and we're always going to get that. Like, I'm sure there's going to be something that comes out next year that people are going to be saying the same freaking thing, and so on and vice versa. And yeah, there's no, I don't know really what I'm saying here. I just feel like...
Well, so for to bring it back for me, like, to bring it right back to the beginning of the podcast, talking about 7 out of 10, Starfield, it's like the thing about standards and bars in games is that people have different opinions about games, like their art. Like everybody has different reactions to art. We all bring our own, biases and experiences to the thing, and it meets us halfway. That's how art works. And
I didn't know
the idea
I wish the
internet knew that. So the idea that any one thing can be like a universal like bar, like universally raise a bar for just being an amazing experience. There are technical bars that can be raised. Like Tears of the Kingdom, I would say, raised the bar for what you can accomplish on the Nintendo Switch from a technical standpoint and what that game actually does, because that's quantifiable. That's technology. That's not part of the art. But like, there are plenty of people out there who don't like Tears of the Kingdom, and that's absolutely valid. So for them, Tears of the Kingdom didn't really raise any bars.
Yeah.
Just like I'm sure people may be commenting angrily about my comment about New Vegas, because that's not a universally loved game. Nothing is.
There's no doubt about what you're saying is spot on. Right? So I'm not going to say anymore because I'll just ramble. So yeah, I think that's a good start-off point.
Rambling. Sometimes you ramble on a bit and then bam, you hit that fucking
but I
gold
felt like I was
nugget.
just going in and out the same door.
you were just having...
I was Homer Simpson's dad, just going in and out the door.
You were just having a discussion with yourself where it was like, yes, I guess, yes,
sticking the hat on and off all the time.
But yeah, no, like it's an interesting discussion to have for sure. Just I think the way that it came about, obviously it was bollocks. The fact that two different people from Larian have had to say the same thing before the game came out and after.
But I don't disagree with like what we said on the Destin video when we talked about the Destin video. Like, there's a lot of credit. There's things he asks in there are spot on. We should be asking for great games constantly all the time and everything. There's no doubt about that. I completely agree. I agreed with that statement. I agree with it to this day and everything. But sadly, I'll state what I said when we talked about it. The gamers prove otherwise that we don't.
Yeah.
Consistently. When they are buying, no offense, the games that it's subjective in my opinion here, I don't deny that. But overall, the consensus is that the Call of Duties aren't consistently a great game anymore. The FIFAs aren't consistently a great game anymore. The Maddens and everything like that. But because they are some of the biggest IPs out there, they consistently get bought and are always like best sellers and everything like that.
We can get away with Jedi Survivor coming out and being a bit fucked up at launch because people's going to buy it anyway. Like, yeah, I see where you're coming from. That's the part of the Destin video that I agree with, where it's like, we should be asking for games to not be fucking busted up when they come out. But the issue that issue isn't on the developers. I mean, we basically covered this when we talked about the survey with that whether we're talking about the game developers, where it's like the issue is the games have to come out by a certain time because they have to start making money because the number has to go up, or because you're an indie studio and you've ran out of money. Like, and that's where the issue lies, and that's what we should be trying to like sort of tackle and figure out as an industry. But instead, it got turned around on developers, the one group of people who could help solve this problem and who are definitely not to blame for the problem.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And to what I've noticed, the consensus like of developers, like they 9 times out of 10 don't really give a fuck what the gamers think.
Good, you shouldn't.
Like, we don't.
I don't want you to give me what you think I want. I want you to give me what you want to give me. I want you to make your passion project. I don't want you to sit there and think, well, what would my target audience really respond to? I want you to just make whatever weird fucking shit you want to make, and then I'll play it. The passion, sometimes you can feel it seeping through the screen when you play some of these games.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I still stand. I always call out. I state I can't remember her name. I always keep forgetting it. The lady who came on stage at an EA Prod conference, nervous as hell. I can't remember what her game was. I do apologize for that, but it was like she was so nervous. But like by the end, everyone was like cheering her on and everything when she showed the game because everyone was like, "That looks awesome."
It was
like that.
Sea of Solitude.
Yes.
Was the name of the game. I can't remember the name of the person though.
Yeah, I can't remember. And the same goes for like Unraveled. Unraveled, when I saw Unraveled the first time, I was like, oh my god, that was amazing. And I loved Unraveled when it first came out. And I loved Unraveled 2 and everything. I loved that it was like, and it's out now. I was like, wait, what? Fuck E3, I'm out. Bye.
Yeah, I remember that.
And whatnot. But no, yeah, it's like when you see that, that's what it's all about. That's what it's about, and everything like that. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and sure, 99% of games
CEOs earning 35 million a year and everything like that, and extra bonuses and firing other people so they can keep the spreadsheet up.
Got to keep those numbers going up. You know what? 99% of games can't possibly approach being Baldur's Gate 3, and we need to accept that until we can at least agree on who the fuck's fault it is. We can't even agree on that right now. So sorry, that's just the way it's gonna have to be.
It's time for us to get the hell out of here and move on to what's happening.
What is happening next week? Well, I know what's happening probably before this podcast goes up, which is I'm going to finish Bramble. But I don't know what's going to happen after that. It's definitely not going to take me 4 hours to finish unless something goes cataclysmically wrong. Which is possible. I did find a couple of interesting little shortcuts.
I was spoken to the team about that. We were just
did you show them my footage?
No, I just...
How'd you get in there? It looked like I could go in there. I'm sorry.
It was a good laugh, good discussion. So
the second one wasn't my fault. The wall didn't work. So I was like, maybe it's this gate. That was my favorite one because I was just walking backwards and forwards through the gate that didn't have collision, just going, am I supposed to use this gate? No. Okay. But yeah, no, that was fun. I don't know what I'm gonna do after it. If you're hanging out in Discord, maybe we can play something afterwards.
Yeah, I'll see how I feel.
If you're there, if you're not, no, if you're not, I'll have a plan B.
I'll be there for Bramble at least. I don't know if I'll stick around afterwards.
I'll have a backup plan for doing something. Plenty of games to play.
Rent another Pokemon game. There's Brilliant Diamonds, Pokemon Arceus.
I need to be able to play on my Switch first.
Oh shit! I
didn't start playing Pokemon because I didn't want to keep playing Pokemon. I can't right now. Like as soon as I can, I'll get back to Pokemon. Like bish bash bosh, as they say. But unfortunately, that won't be tomorrow. But yeah, streaming, and then next week, who fucking knows? I've got a little bit of time before I can play Pokemon. So I'll either pick something out of my backlog for 2023, or I'll just pick some random fucking game. Or I'll try and get everybody to play Faz or something. I don't know. We'll see. Watch my Blue Sky account. It's linked in the description below. What else is happening next week? There's a cool Sound and Festival that I spotted called Save and Sound, which is running from Monday, September 11th to Thursday, September 14th. It's an online music festival, which is partnered with Steam, so there's going to be sales on games and demos. And it's just a celebration of soundtracks and music and audio in games. And there's 3 days worth of live streams with like a bunch of different games. Like Stray Gods is listed as being a part of this thing. A few games that haven't come out yet, and a lot of games that have sort of come out in the last sort of 12 months. I don't know what the live streams are actually going to be all about, but a celebration of music and audio and games, I like those things.
Sweetness.
You can watch that live on Twitch and YouTube at Bedtime DG. WASD is also happening in London, Thursday, September 14th, Saturday, September 16th. It's just like another EGX, I guess. I've never been. Joe came on the podcast last year to talk about him going to WASD, and he looked like he had a good time, but I don't really know much about it.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a partnership thing with IGN. I don't know if they're doing live streams or something. It was unclear, but the thing's happening, and I know it is because I know people who are going. So, like, I know that's happening. So yeah, check that out if you're in the area, or keep an eye out on social media. And a game that I wanted to highlight that was coming out next week is Gunbrella from Devolver Digital. It's the game where you have a gun. It's also
an umbrella. Are you gonna be screaming, "I'm Mary Poppins, y'all"?
I ain't gonna be screaming shit, man. You see how many games I've got to play on my backlog?
I didn't say streaming, I said playing.
Oh, I thought you said screaming. No. Oh, not streaming. No, not playing. It looks cool. I want to get to it.
No, I don't think I even said streaming. I don't even think I said.
You said playing, yeah. Screaming.
I think it was screaming.
And I was like, I ain't screaming shit because I won't be playing it. But it looks really cool. I love the demo that I played last year, and I want to get around to it. But it is just this time crunch combined with the number of games that have come out that I want to play, and it's like, Jesus, man.
Excuse me, sorry.
Like, there's a fucking game. I've just scrolled down to do OpenCritic, and like both of the games that are on the last week's result thing are like games that I really want to fucking play.
I hope you play one of them by next week.
I'll be playing one of them by next week. Should we play OpenCritic Head-To-Head, really?
Go for it.
This is the game we play every single week where we try to guess the OpenCritic average of upcoming games. Thank God. Whoever guesses the OpenCritic average at the time of recording gets a point. Did one of the scores
change for you?
If you manage to guess the point score correctly, you get 2 points.
Off. Seriously?
Yeah.
It went up.
Well, at least it didn't go down. Down would have been worse for you. There we go. Sorry, just making some changes. Last week, we tried to guess the OpenCritic average of 2 upcoming games. The first one, Goodbye Volcano High. Amy guessed it would get a 92. Moody guessed it would get an 88. And at the time of recording, Goodbye Volcano High has an OpenCritic average of 74. Maybe. I don't know. I logged on to OpenCritic a few days ago. It was at 74, and I put the number in and thought, well, there's no need for me to check this anymore because Moody definitely has the point no matter what. Like, it's not going up by 18 points.
77.
77. So it has gone up.
Can shoot another 10 now.
Just refresh.
88. What? Yes.
So Moody gets a point for that.
Now.
No, once I say the thing, it's done. That's it. So if it did, yeah, you would. We also try to guess the OpenCritic average of Chance of Sinnoh. I guessed it would get a 78. Moody guessed it would get a 79 at the time of recording. Chance of Sinnoh has an OpenCritic average of 80. Had 79 this morning. Which means Moody gets 1 point. Which puts the scores at Amy 27, Moody 23, Vitz 1. It's meant to say guests, but Vitz is the only one who's ever got a point. And 2 draws. Chance. The thing is, right, I'd resigned myself to like, okay, Chance of Sinnoh sounds like the perfect fucking Christmas break game, right? something like that's like 10-ish hours long. Sink my teeth into over the course of like a week. And then fucking Stephen Tortillo, Jason Schreier, Rebecca Valentine, and they're all coming out saying, yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite games of the year. And I'm like, no, you like the same games as me. Stop it.
What, Chance of Sinner?
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Like, stop it. No. Why are you doing this to me? I'll just like reply to all of them, just being like, why? Stop. I haven't even played Sea of Stars yet. But yeah, no, it does look really cool.
Is it not? It's going to Game Pass, isn't it?
What?
Or am I wrong?
Chance of
No.
It's out on like everything: PlayStation, Xbox, PC. It's not coming to Game Pass. Well, I mean, it might in the future. Not right now. Anyway, this week we got 2 games up on deck. The first one I mentioned before, Gunbrella. What do I think Gumbrella's going to get? I don't know anymore. It's impossible to fucking tell. We just spent the entire first half of the podcast complaining about people complaining about review scores, and here we are like, hey, let's get some review scores. Gunbrella is going to get an 82. Fuck it. I liked it a lot last year. And they could have only gotten better since then. That's how these things work.
That's how the Force works, right?
Sure.
79.
I feel like I'm in one of those moments where Moody's going to score lots of points consecutively for the next few weeks. I feel like I'm at the precipice of that right now. The next game we're going to guess the OpenCritic average of. The Crew Motorfest. You remember this? The Crew's doing Forza Horizon. God, I remember playing the first Crew. It was such a cool idea at the time where it was like, you can drive around the entire United States. Shame there was nothing to do. I think I drove to the football stadium that my NFL team plays at, and then I was like, cool, now what? And then I don't think I played any more of it. I couldn't drive to the Canucks place because that was in Canada. Well, I think it's going to get... I'm just going to go 70. I'm going to go 70 because I don't want to make a sex joke about a Ubisoft game.
69. I don't think I've ever gone 69 on this game. On this thing.
Usually for the games that might be true for, I usually go for 69. Mm-hmm. I usually go for 69 anyway.
You do indeed.
That's it. We did it. Another whole podcast. I like this podcast. I think it was good. It's fun in the moment, which is usually a good sign.
I'm totally tired, Amy.
I know. Yeah.
I love you, but I'm knackered. My body's like...
Well, you know how to end the podcast.
I know how to end it.
You have the power to... Basically, I say I'm the host, but you have the power for like the entire second half of the podcast and the end of the podcast. Maybe I've given you too much power.
Maybe.
Just do the thing.
Just do the thing. Well, it's Friday, everybody. You know what that means. It's video game day, but it's also the weekend for you to go and tell someone you love them, give your family a hug, do all the good stuff, and now be awesome, because you want to know why you're awesome. Because you deserve to be awesome, and you deserve to be here, and don't let anyone ever tell you no, not to. You are amazing, and have a great weekend. Me and Amy will be hopefully back next week. Depends if I'm still awake.
I hope you're not still awake a week later. Hey, man, how you doing? Haven't slept for a week. Huh?
This could be good. This could go really good, Amy, or really bad.
It's okay. It's okay. The adrenaline levels are high. I don't know if that's okay, Moody.